With that, I will go ahead and get this started and turn it over to Dave Schelt. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here.
Thank you, Kathy, and welcome to everybody to this KC2 launch call. What we are going to review today from an agenda standpoint is we'll go through some introductions, and then Kathy will take over the controls again, and she will give you a demo of KC2, just a quick brief overview of the features and functionality included with KC2. KC2, of course, is a new revolutionary online shopping and ordering system. It's both your sales and merchandising system as well as your ordering solution that you would use with Alkit. We'll then get into, after the demo, we'll get into why KC2, what brought it about, and then we'll talk about next steps, and certainly we will want to answer any questions you may have. First introduction I'd like to do is kind of introduce you to Kodak Alaris. Many are not familiar with who Kodak Alaris is and what we're all about. Kodak Alaris, we were all part of Eastman Kodak Company, and over the years with Eastman Kodak Company and through numerous changes in the CEO leadership team, Eastman Kodak Company became involved in inkjet and graphic printing industry and became less involved in the photographic industry. And when their growth and development didn't hit a pace that they needed to achieve, Eastman Kodak filed for bankruptcy. And at that time, what we call the George Eastman legacy of Eastman Kodak Company, the whole photographic division, that was spun out from underneath Eastman Kodak Company and now exists as a privately held, independently operated company. The new ownership has invested heavily to acquire the photographic businesses from Eastman Kodak and to stand them up as an independent operating company. We have a long-term focus on the growth opportunities in the photo space. Once we are out on our own, we're no longer distracted by the other objectives from the prior management. We are now completely focused on the photographic industry. And KC2 software, what we're about to talk about today, is a perfect example of that. It is the culmination of our research and development and our market insights that have brought about KC2 software, again, specifically for the professional market. Introducing you to your KC2 launch team, you heard from Kathy. She is our subject matter expert and training specialist. She's there to help you get the most of how to use KC2. Raquel Bowles is on the line. She's our sales and marketing specialist. She will help you to understand how to get the most out of KC2. I am the program manager for the product, and of course, Alkit is your partner for success. And together, as a team, we want to work with you. And really, there's two reasons from that. One, KC2 is different from other e-commerce solutions. And rather than replicate what would be common business practices from other e-commerce solutions, we want to work closely with you so that you get the most benefit out of what KC2 brings to your business. And secondly, we want to make sure that you have success through KC2. We know KC2 is its entry launch into the market, so we know we can learn a lot from you while at the same time helping you to achieve improved business through the use of the solution. And that brings us to introducing you to why are you here today? Why have we invited you to this call? And first and foremost, you were hand-selected by Stephen from Alkit to participate in this launch of KC2 and to take advantage and be an early adopter and be among the first to take advantage of what KC2 offers. And KC2 is based on market research, long-standing market research, and our history and legacy in this business has culminated into the development of this product. We know that today consumers are ever so obsessed with the digital file. And we also know that they prefer an online shopping experience, and much of that is thanks to companies like Amazon who have propagated such a tremendous experience for people and the convenience of an online in-home shopping experience. At the same time, we know as photographers, we need to sell print products. After all, that's how we sustain our business. And we typically prefer to do that in a face-to-face or an in-studio experience. That seems to be the most successful way to sell. But you can see how the consumer's propensity for the digital file, along with their preference for an online shopping experience, are kind of in opposition to our need to sell print products with an in-studio experience. And that tension is ever growing in the market and creating quite a divide between photographers and their clients. And as a result, consumers are often hiring photographers for their capture skills. They're pressuring photographers to just provide them the digital files, and they will go source products themselves. And that's where the birth of KC2 came from, a one-stop shop to bridge that gap, to relieve that tension, to offer the benefits of an in-studio selling experience with the convenience of an online shopping solution. It enables your clients to take advantage of print and digital products together, digital products that will enable them to share their memories with family and friends, because after all, we know social media has taken over as the #1 sharing mechanism, and consumers have an intense need, especially when it comes to the professional moments in their lives, those once-in-a-lifetime milestones. That's the ones they want to share most. But we also know they have a need to relive that story that unfolded that day over and over again for years to come, and of course to preserve that moment for a lifetime so that they can continue to share it, the history of the occasion, for generations to come. So we bring together those digital products that enable them to share their memories with the print products that offer them the capability to relive and preserve for a continued lifetime. And what we say is the print product is really now the backup to the digital file. It is the only a reliable means to preserve that moment. And KC2 helps bring that together and to communicate that value proposition to your clients. So with that being the setup and the introduction to KC2, I'm now going to turn it over to Kathy, and she will walk you through a brief demo of what KC2 is all about.
Thanks, Dave. Hi again, everyone. We thought it would be a really great idea during this overview and kickoff to share KC2 with you. And I think the best thing that we can always do, I'm sure that you guys would agree, is let's look at KC2 from a consumer's perspective. And if we can always, you guys as photographers, your pro lab that you're working with, Alkit, us here as Kodak Alaris, if we can all always stay focused on the consumer, and as Dave was explaining, with an understanding of what consumers want, what they need from us to properly commemorate their milestone occasion. If we also consider the manner in which they would like to be served, many of them would like to be served by you through an online shopping experience. And that's not to say that that would be their only shopping experience that they would have with you. You know, when you meet with your clients, when you sell your service, you may be selling that initial package when you're meeting with them. This can be an opportunity for secondary sales. This can be an opportunity to reach their family and friends. So let's just always stay focused on serving the needs of the consumer. Let's stay focused on the research that tells us what they want and how they want it. And I think if we all do that, you guys, then we all have an opportunity to win by serving their needs. So I'm going to ask you to wear your consumer hat. I'm also going to ask you to wear your photographer hat. So let's have you wear your photographer hat here for a moment. And at this point, you have already used your KC2 desktop application that you've downloaded from Alkit. So, and I know that most of you on the line have probably already done that. So you've used your KC2 application to set up a storefront, as it's called in the system, for Rachel and Kyle. It's a pretty automated process. Once you do one event, you'll be well poised to do many additional events. It's pretty easy to get to know. And you've added your branding. You can see on the bottom I have a sample focus photo studio. You've selected this home page image for Rachel and Kyle to see as soon as they see their event link. You can communicate the event link to Rachel and Kyle in many ways. You can send them the URL. I'm highlighting it at the top of the screen. You can send them to your own personal photographer web page if you have one, and you can place this event tile for Rachel and Kyle right on your own web page. We give you tools in KC2 that allow you to do that for your clients on your own web page. You'll also have your own landing page via KC2 to display all of your client events. So that could be the one that you actually have on your business card, more of a generic landing page for all of your clients to go to and simply either search for or look for their event, click on the link, and ultimately be brought to this home page for the event. So with that being said, now we'll definitely put our consumer hat back on, and we'll take a look at this storefront that you've already prepared for your clients, and we'll enter this storefront. I'm just going to choose View Photos, and as you would expect, now we are brought to a beautiful display, the gallery images. You can see some additional setup information that's applied here. So this is some watermarking that you would have enabled in your KC2 application. You can either enable or disable the watermark on your images. You can organize the images. You'll see my mouse, I'm clicking on 3 different image categories. So the organization of your images, you have control of that. You have control of your watermarking. You have control also of sharing this entire link. I'll tell you that my Facebook option is missing in this demonstration, but normally Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest are our default sharing opportunities so that you can enable your clients to share this entire link to the storefront to their friends and family and reach an even greater selling audience. So that's always a good thing to enable if you want them to share this event with friends and family. So Rachel and Kyle, everyone, they're super excited because for potentially the first time, they're seeing your art, your creativity. They love how you've organized these images really based on the event. They're super excited to see the images. They select them to get a larger preview. Everything's great. They find a shopping cart icon, and I'm just going to log in. They can create a new login here, but I already have one that I'm logging into. So I'll select that shopping cart icon again after having logged in. And now, as these consumers, as Rachel and Kyle, were brought to a great list of products. So let's have you put your photographer hat on here just for a moment, because this is a great list of products that you've put together, that actually Alkit has helped you put together by simply selecting a price sheet that's going to be available to you in KC2. You have ultimate control, but Alkit is certainly there to help you guys get a really great head start on what a price sheet is, including the types of products that not only Alkit offers, but the types of products that you would like to include for sales opportunity to these clients. And the great thing about it is, with all of our help, you're including products that you know consumers want and need, as Dave was mentioning. Let's use what you all know about what you do so well, your art, your creativity. You know your clients, you know what motivates some of their purchasing decisions. Let's couple that with what we know about what motivates consumers' purchasing decisions, and let's use that, all of this information collectively, let's use it to not only our advantage, but your clients' advantage, so that we can serve them with products that are going to properly help them commemorate this once-in-a-lifetime occasion. That's why you'll see digital downloads. That's why you'll see print products. That's why you'll see other products such as gallery wraps and some specialty items. So this is where you have total control. Again, Alkit will get you started, of course, so that you don't have so much manual work to do on your price sheet offerings. But in the end, everyone, you have total control of which products to include, the retail prices to select. It's entirely up to you. So, and you collect the revenue, by the way. As soon as Rachel and Kyle, as soon as your clients make a purchase here on the storefront, you receive that payment immediately into your PayPal account, minus your lab's wholesale and KC2 fee. So you guys, I think you know by now, there's no fee for the software. You download the software from Alkit. There's no upfront cost. There's no monthly subscription fee. There's no image storage, upload, or storage fees. So the only time that a fee would be assessed is when a retail sale is made. So let's talk again. Let's put our consumer hat back on, and let's look at this type of shopping experience from Rachel and Kyle's perspective. This is where they tend to get a little confused. They love your art and your creativity. They can clearly see that they're looking at an awesome list of products, a very extensive list of products. Remember, in the end, you have control of what products you're offering here. But traditionally, this is where they get frustrated. What goes together? What works? You know, where's that kind of best-selling suggestions that they're probably looking for at this point? Well, KC2 has that. KC2 gives you the ability, I'm just going to close this screen here and go to what's called collections. So collections inside of KC2 allow you to do just that with your clients. You can put together recommendations, suggestions. This is a way that you can speak to your clients even when you're not in their living room as they're going through their storefront and their images. So it's a way for you to be there. It's a way for you to educate your clients even when they're shopping from the privacy of their own home. Alkit's also going to help you put together these collections. And this is where we really are looking forward to working with you, myself, Raquel on our marketing team, Alkit. We want to help you put together these collections for your clients based on what you know, of course, because you know your clients, and also based on what we know that consumers want, both digital and print products that help them tell their stories, like photo albums and keepsakes, and then large format wall display items for preserving the event for a lifetime and generation. So it's a combination of the right sets of products that we will work with you so that when your clients see their first storefront that you've sent out to them, you'll be able to present these recommendations and offer guidance and suggestions. You can also further incentivize them. You have total control of prices. You have total control of any discount that I'm selecting here at the top of the screen. So you can incentivize your clients by saying, hey, you know, purchase the entire collection and save 25% relative to purchasing these items a la carte. So I want to show you another piece of this in a little bit more detail, and that's the album. KC2 provides for you what's called album intelligence. So using album intelligence, images are selected for you automatically based on a lot of subject content, scene content. Algorithms look for eyes open and smiles. So you don't have to spend the time calling down your images to the right image set. You don't have to organize your images. You don't have to sort your images before running them through an album building software. KC2 gives you not only the album building piece, because that would be the next piece, is after the images are sorted and organized, they're laid out on album pages, but you of course have total control in the end, all the creative control that you would want before posting this out to your clients. So the nice thing about Album Intelligence is it does the majority of the work for you, so that you can spend more time, doing things like booking and shooting more events. KC2 was not only built for your clients to serve their needs completely, but KC2 was built to save you time and to save you money. KC2 is not only an e-commerce solution that you're seeing here so that you can serve your clients via this online shopping opportunity. KC2 is not also Album Intelligence. It's also included in KC2, but KC2 is also your direct ordering tool so that you can place direct orders with Alkit. So I like to really emphasize that because I know that all of you are accustomed traditionally to using 3 different applications to perform those tasks. One application for placing an order, one application for building an e-commerce solution, another application for building albums. So we wanted to make all of those very complementary efforts. We wanted to put those together in one application for you, and that's KC2. So as I flip through these album pages, again, it was put together using Album Intelligence. What I'd like for us to do now, just one more time, is I'd like you to put your photographer hat on so that now I can switch gears. I'm going to show you the KC2 application. So put on your photographer hat. I switch to the KC2 application, which would be your application that you would have used to build that storefront for Rachel and Kyle that I was just showing you. KC2 is what you would use to run Album Intelligence. I'm using a different set of images that do a slightly better job of showing you some of the features of the functionality. So let me explain to you what you're seeing here. This is a project that has 200 images in it. And you can probably tell as I'm scrolling through the image panel at the top of the screen that there are many near duplicate images. So we don't want you to spend your time culling through these images and finding the best ones manually yourself. We want you to let the algorithm, the Album Intelligence algorithm, do that selection for you automatically and intelligently. And that's the result of what you're seeing on this page. There are 200 images here. They were uploaded to a Kodak Alaris server on our hardware and using our internet connection. It took about 3 minutes for 200 images for this result that you see on the screen, this storyboard view result to appear on the screen. We've done some testing with about 1,000 images as well, and that's taken about 10 minutes, again, using our hardware and our internet connectivity. So this is really cool. These icons are letting you know, first of all, the image is letting you know which image the algorithm selected for you automatically. And it's also letting you know which images were laid out to preserve the event representation page by page, page 1, page 2, page 2 and 3, page 4 and 5, and so on. But this little icon, I'm going to select that, and this tells us that this image was selected by the algorithm, and we can kind of obviously see why right from the start. We see eyes open, we see smiles, but this tells us that there are similar images. So you have complete creative control of changing the image, selecting a different image, but the idea is that let the algorithm do what the algorithm does so well. Of course, you put your creative touches on the rest of the album as well. I'm just switching to a different view in the system, the layout view, and this will make sense here in just a second when this loads. And I'll just go to one of the album pages, and I'll just really quickly, I'm just rearranging some things on my screen. I'll just quickly show you here how you would have the creative control that I'm pretty sure that you would expect. I can choose a different layout. You'd be able to put a background image on your pages and set that opacity. You would be able to add your own image boxes and own text boxes to the page. You, of course, would be able to swap out different images. You'd be able to add pages to the book. And again, the idea is to give you the creative control that you want, but the idea also is to help you build this album very automatically, very intelligently, and beautifully right from the start, and you just put on your finishing touches so that you can include that in your storefront for your clients. So, and I'm just going to point out one more thing inside of KC2 the application. I know that some of you might already have, again, downloaded it and already be using some of KC2. So this is just branded with a sample photo lab. Your KC2 application would be branded with Alkit's lab logo. I'm just going to go into an existing project that's already a part of KC2, and I'll just show you the basic order screen in the system, because again, this is my way of reminding you that, and you'll see my mouse, if you want to follow my mouse, it's down in the lower right-hand corner of the screen now. KC2 is both an ordering system for you to place your direct orders with Alkit. It's a selling solution for you so that you can build that storefront and reach your clients and their friends and their family. And it includes album intelligence. So I'm just going to wrap up here, show you that these would be the catalogs that would be available to you from your ProLab, from Alkit. You would pick and choose products, you would insert images, you would choose all of the options that you would want to choose. And because KC2 is both an ordering solution and a selling solution, you'd be using the same application, the same set of images, the same functionality, and the same products, whether you're placing an order or building your storefront. So with that, I'll pause right there, and before I turn it over to Dave, I just want to give a shout out, and if anybody has a question or a comment at this point, Stephen, if you'd like to add anything for anyone on the line, I'd certainly open up any phone lines.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I just unmuted you, Stephen, so yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic. So yeah, I had conversations with the studios here, and I just wanted to relate one of the aha moments, because there are a couple of high-end studios here catering to, wealthy clients. So when I showed them Album Intelligence, the result was that, well, we use very highly paid designers and we sell very expensive albums for a really custom book. And so I really don't think that the Album Intelligence is anywhere near that. And I agreed with that photographer and suggested the following, that in addition to the main album that you've sold him for that amount of money, how would you like to put up a book created by Album Intelligence and perhaps offer a lay-flat coffee table book in addition, perhaps for the in-laws or the parents or of that sort? And that was kind of an aha moment. And what KC2 is doing in this circumstance is giving you an additional sale that you could not have envisioned without it.
That's great, Stephen.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Stephen, too. And I think it's important to reinforce with Album Intelligence is you are not required. You have complete creative control. What it's really doing is it's helping with the sorting, selecting, and organizing. And while it does do the sort and selection, it still allows you to make your own selection. It kind of does the grouping of the images based on scene content, weeds out the ones from an image quality standpoint. And so it's not that it would not be appropriate for the primary album design. It might even help the people with their design process. But I understand what you're saying. You picked right up on the fact that it doesn't hurt to run the algorithm, and it certainly enables you to offer, we call them companion books, or as you said, coffee table books to other family members.
Thanks, Stephen. So So if no one else has any questions about KC2, any questions or comments, if you raise your hand, I'll go ahead and open up your phone line, or I'm also monitoring just written questions that come in, everyone, and based on me seeing one of those, I could make everyone aware of the question and we can talk about it. So what I'll do then, you can ask a question or raise your hand anytime. I'll keep monitoring that, but in the meantime, I'll pass this back off to Dave. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you, Kathy. And just to summarize what Kathy has said here, KC2 has been designed, obviously, with the client in mind, to benefit the client, and in doing so, it also benefits photographers. We see this as a win-win for both parties, a win for your clients as it helps to deliver them the products and solutions in the manner that they're looking for, in the manner that they prefer, while doing so, helping to drive sales for you to even not just the primary client, but beyond to their family and friends and to the broader audience. It brings print and digital together in a meaningful manner that we call collections, the ability for you to make suggestions. After all, you're the professional, you're the one with the experience who understands what the top products are, what the most popular products are. It enables you to take your images and place them into products and present those as suggestions to your clients. And even if your clients don't necessarily like that particular collection that you've put together, you have elevated the conversation to a much higher level versus typically when you're just purchasing from the gallery, clients are trying to match image to product, and that's like building a salad one lettuce leaf at a time, and you often don't get to the end product that you want. Starting at a collection sales, you're starting at a much higher level in the selling process and a much more convenient and helpful manner to your clients, thus reducing the tension for them. You select the products, you have complete control, you get the feeling throughout this KC2 design, we have put complete control in the hands of the photographer. You set your prices, you collect your revenue. We've added that suggestive selling and personalized recommendations through the collections piece to enable you to be their trusted advisor. And then, of course, album intelligence, as we've mentioned, to help with that sorting, selecting, and organizing of images. That's the part that's the real time drain that then enables photographers to focus exclusively on the creative portion of that with additional tools to build those albums.
Dave, I think Stephen has a... Stephen, I think that's a fresh hand raise that I see there, so I unmuted your line.
That is. So what I wanted to also stress, in speaking with so many of these photographers, everybody is being pressured to provide those digital files to the client, whether they're low-res or high-res. And what I'm suggesting through the use of KC2 is that rather than put that DVD into an envelope and mail it to the client, and then have to wait for them to call you back a year later maybe to buy the book from you, which is where you get paid, is that you offer them that digital download via KC2. So you're agreeing to provide that digital download, go to KC2 to go get it. And when they get it, they're seeing all this other stuff suggested for them. So you're really gaining another touch point on the client with a chance to sell them something.
Stephen, that's excellent. And that really gets at the heart of our research, where it says the consumer, their primary need coming out of an event is to share it with their family and friends. And the mode of sharing is that digital file. And we found that you have to find a way to solve that need for the consumer before you can get them to think about the print product sale. And you said it perfectly that that's what KC2 does. It brings those two products together into a meaningful collection for that client so that they can see that they're getting what they're interested in terms of sharing, and then they start thinking about, boy, I really want these products beyond this moment to share. I want them for my lifetime to preserve that moment and to relive those stories. So that is one of the tremendous benefits and features that KC2 offers. And your counsel is wise to have those transactions go through a single platform, so it becomes that that one-stop shop for the client. It makes it easier for them. It consolidates that purchasing experience and keeps it focused for them, which is very, very helpful.
Stephen, I'm just going to leave your phone line open, so thanks for your help here.
And so that brings us to the next steps. Stephen was very helpful to surface about 18 names to us for candidates that would benefit from KC2. We're looking for just five early adopters to come forward and to participate in this launch of KC2. And in order to become an early adopter, we're going to go on a first-come, first-served basis. And immediately following this call, you will receive an email from Raquel, and that email will have a survey in it. And that survey is going to help us understand your personalized business practices. KC2 does not force you into doing things that you don't want to do. What KC2 is, it's an extension and an enhancement of your existing business policies, and we want to understand those up front so that as our team engages with you, we are actually enhancing your processes through the use of KC2 rather than taking you down a road that's either not comfortable or foreign for you. Also in this survey, it'll help us understand your calendar of upcoming events so we know exactly when to engage. And then we're also interested in your top-selling products so we can begin to put some collections together for you and help you through that process of putting those things into a KC2 storefront. From there, as an early adopter, Alkit will assist you. We do require PayPal. PayPal facilitates the financial transactions from your clients and the money collection for you, as well as lab payment. We would then get involved, have Kathy come back to you and work one-on-one with configuring your system and getting you up and going. Raquel would then schedule some time for you to incorporate your business practices into KC2, and then we'd be back to, once the event occurs, to create a storefront. I've kind of put a lot of detail in here. What this really means is we're just going to walk this walk with you and take this journey together so that we can make sure that you are successful, and we want to learn through you as well. So again, we just need 5 to step forward from the excellent number that Stephen has put forward, and that will be in terms of response to the survey that you'll get today, and then we'll be ready to go. We are looking forward to moving, rather quickly with this. We think this is we're excited about what KC2 brings to the market. We're excited about what the reaction we've got. Just as an aside, we've just spent the first couple of months at trade shows and showing this to photographers all around the country here, and the reception has been tremendous. So we are anxious to get started, and we're very appreciative of Stephen and David at Alkit for stepping forward to being an early adopter with us. They've been a fantastic partner, and we appreciate them extending this opportunity to each of you.